fucking trail. There's the thick guideline. And that's the one they lay first, and then they start laying all the other ones after that.
What brought you into December just brings me regret. A perfect vignette with a twisty conclusion.
That's weird. Why does it start with that one on that playlist? It's a great song, no doubt about it. It's number like 10. Why does it start with number 10?
Has gone violent. The bubble is warm. The suicide pilot smells.
I gotta find out who Ned in the Second Reader is. It's something my grandparents used to say.
My girlfriend's name is Roxy.
I gotta go this way first, right? Ned in the First Reader. Ned in the First Reader is an old expression often referencing a character from early 20th century McGuffey readers or similar primers used to describe a child with messy hair, untidy clothes, or a disheveled appearance. Ned was typically portrayed as a mischievous or unkempt boy, often paired with a neat character named Nancy, setting a standard for behavior and appearance. The phrase stems from the stories when Nancy McGuffey's first reader or primers, where Ned was a frequent feature, a chaotic character. It was used as a common idiom to tease or admonish children who needed to fix their hair or clothing. Unlike some stories featuring well-behaved children, Ned was often depicted as careless in his appearance. Huh. Oh, Jesus. So we have Algo here, and then we have a piece of shit Friar here. A fucking pedophile, disgusting child rapist. Ned in the First Reader is the one that pops up. That's weird, because Ned in the Second Reader was how my family always used to say it. Share the weed. What weed? Share the video. Share the feed, you mean. Share the feed. What would be ideal is if you knew any Jews that weren't cowards. Oh, man, that's funny. Oh. But if you knew any of them that weren't cowards and they could come in and actually try to engage in the conversation, that would be ideal. I would like to see that. I would like for that to happen. But we all know it won't. Or at least we know it won't. You know. Non-coward Jews who engage in an intelligent, they're not going to be able to do that. I mean, it's Joey literally had his alarm set to be here. Good old Joe the pedophile. He's so fascinated with me that he's setting alarms so he can watch the feed every day. It makes you wonder, like, what kind of sickness they have going on with that. But I think it has to do with the flogging thing. Everything on God and Jews, but not space travel. So far, I believe we have hit the moon. Why? Why do you think that way? I'm very interested. I want to know what makes you accept the narrative from the system that you think is lying to you about God and Jews and all that other shit. Why do you think they're telling you the truth about space travel? I'm very interested. That it's always fascinating to me to try to figure these things out. Like I'm fascinated with how people think. So like when you say, look, I can see that we're being lied to on these fundamental levels, in a huge way. But I think those same people are telling me the truth about, like, you think they're lying to you about when you're living, you know, who you are, what everything's about, you know, the food, the water, the air, blah, blah, blah. They're lying about everything, but they're telling you the truth about where you live. If you don't know you're in the prison, do you know you're in the prison? You know, if you're not told you're in the prison, it reminds me of the Plato, the shadows, the cave guy. What the fuck? I can't think of his name right now. But 4 or 5 guys are chained up in a cave, and they're chained in a way so that their back is facing the entrance of the cave, and all they ever see is shadows. So they think their lives are you know, shadows. That's all they know. It's all they've ever known. And one of the guys slips the chain, breaks free somehow, climbs up to the mouth of the cave and looks out and sees that there's this huge world out there, and that they only had been privy to a very small portion of it. And when he goes back to try to tell his compadres what he's discovered, they kill him. Because it's so, you know, it's too much. And they're you know, it might not be ideal the way they lived, but it's all they ever knew. And to break that comfort, you know, that instead of being uncomfortable and maybe, you know, maybe everything you've ever been told or everything you've ever thought you've known is a lie, you kill the messenger. Troops are on the way to Iran. Why would anyone support that? You know they're gonna get fucked up. Wow, they don't even have to actually, they don't have to do the false flag. So when I was telling you guys that the October 7th thing was going to happen, and then it happened. So I predicted October 7th months beforehand, told you everything was going to happen. It worked out basically the way I said. I've said since then, you know, the next stage of it is to bring Iran in, or Saudi Arabia, one of the two, and maybe both. And I thought what they would do is bring a bunch of troops into Israel somewhere, fire their own rockets, as always, into the Israeli airspace where the troops are stationed, and there'll be a weird failure from the Iron Dome for some reason. And a bunch of American troops will be killed. You know, it'll come back that Americans were victims, blah, blah, blah. And you know, and the yellow ribbons and everybody will be who we're supposed to be. We'll support the war that none of us actually support, but they would have tricked us into doing it. And this is a time-tested tactic. This was the Gulf of Tonkin. This is what they did in the Gulf of Tonkin. It's really what they did with Pearl Harbor. It's just what they do. It's how they operate. It's how they manipulate us, dumb fucking Goyim, into thinking the way they want us to think. And so I thought that was what they were going to do. But now it's clear they don't even need to do that. They're just going to attack Iran, and when Iran fucks them, the coldest, like, most badass, most gangster, most thug life sunglasses thing I've ever heard anyone say was when the news, the reporter, whatever, the journalist, not journalist, the reader asked the Iranian spokesperson, you know, what are you going to do if Americans send troops to the ground, and and they invade with the troops. What are you going to do? Like, trying to like sort of bully him. And he smiled. He got this smirk on his face, and he said, "We're waiting for them." And the news guy was like, "What? You're waiting for them?" And he's like, "Yeah, we expected this, and we're waiting for them. And it's the worst thing that they could do because there will be catastrophic losses. It will be very, very, very deadly for Americans if you guys do this." And now they're doing it. They're just fucking doing it. If you know what the controller is attempting to do, you can fight against the controller, what the controller wants. From the Arctic Circle in Finland, stopping by to say hey and hopefully bring it. Kindness matters. No, it doesn't. I mean, it does, but kindness and love, and that's the spiel, that's the narrative they've been pushing on us since they gave us the Beatles. All you need is love. Bullshit. It's not true. We need accountability. We need responsibility. We need truth. We need honesty. We need to hold these piece of shit fucking friars to the fire. And we need to eliminate this awful, disgusting supremacist control scheme that has been manipulating, raping, and killing us forever. Right? Like it's not the everything, we need love and positivity, and no. We've had more than enough of that shit shoved down our throats our entire fucking lives. Kill them with kindness. And you know the system that we're up against doesn't operate that way, right? They're not all about that, kill them with kindness, be nice bullshit. What are you fucking doing? Oh! This is the first time I've been stuck in this situation. Look at the comment section, right? So this feed is all about, hey, we should kill pedophiles and overthrow the Jewish overlords who, are the pedophiles, and keep everyone in this position of servitude. Okay. So who's gonna be here in trying to interfere? Ask yourself. Fuck you. I love how people act like driving is hard. Driving's hard for me. So if it's hard for me, it has to be hard for you too. Driving isn't hard. Get the fuck over yourself. Oh. I can't imagine outside, I say outside of being a Jew why you would support that shit, but at this point I really can't understand why anybody would ever associate with that rapist, pedophile, genocidal cult to begin with. Like, you understand it's way worse than you think it is, right? Do you understand how awful and disgusting, inbred, fucked up these people are? They're just monsters. They're absolute fucking monsters. We should 100% be unifying and doing everything we can to overthrow this narrative. They have you hating black people, white people, whatever side you're on in that. You know, that's on you. They are involved in every single part of our government, for sure. Every single part of our government, every single, aspect of our lives. What we foolishly think of as history, as pride, as racial, civic pride, shit like that. They control and manipulate all of it. All of it. Oh, here we go. Here comes Joe, the piece of shit Jew. Watch. What a joke, LOL. This guy's the most un-American creature I've seen. His lies making... Like, again, why doesn't this guy ever just point out what I'm lying about? He says all this crazy, dumb, crybaby shit, but he never actually addressed which part I'm lying about. And how am I un-American for suggesting that we stop giving a foreign country anything? Fuck those pieces of shit. They do not benefit us even slightly. Like, we get zero benefit from the relationship with Israel and only negativity. They are why everyone hates us so much. And they don't even hate us. The average, Muslim, Arab, whatever, they don't hate you and I. They hate the government that constantly feeds the Israeli monster. Yeah, I'm clearly white, you dumb shit. And Kanye, I don't know how many of you fell for that shit, but I sure didn't. Kanye was clearly a fucking op from the beginning. I think I fell for Kanye for like a day, maybe two. And then I just realized, like, it's all bullshit. And nowadays, if Kanye hasn't proven that it was all bullshit to begin with, like, you're just not paying attention. He went from Hail Hitler to Hallelujah. He changed the names. I'm going to change the name of the song and the words. I'm going to call it Hallelujah now. I'm going to call it Hallelujah. Oh, it's so fucking bad.
It's Kanye and the Jews.
It's Kyrie and the Jews.
The trickery of genius.
Kanye is a hell of a lot smarter than people realize. Kanye is, to me, is like probably the greatest, the greatest artist of the 2000s. He's one of the greatest artists, musical geniuses of all time. Kanye is so special. Well, Kanye was, because whoever the fuck we're looking at, I don't even know if that's Kanye. Smashly. So many Ashleys are Smashleys. Oh, look. Somebody says, I think he's suffering from a mental health crisis. Jew. So what people need to understand is something called the Auto-Emancipation Pamphlet, right? The Auto-Emancipation Pamphlet was written in 1882, anonymously, published in German, anonymously, and then after the fact, it was assigned to him, ascribed. Somebody said after the fact that he did it, so we don't actually know that he did it. And whenever we're talking about anything from 18 anything, you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? Because it's all lies. Let's just be real, it's all lies. But supposedly 1882, Leon Pinsker a Polish, Russian, Jewish doctor, but he was only a doctor because he got his law degree, but Jews weren't allowed to practice law, so he just decided to become a doctor instead, because that makes sense, right? He, in 1882, pens this auto-emancipation pamphlet, which is considered to be the founding document of modern Zionism, modern Jewish nationalism. Prior to this, it is called proto-Zionism. There never really was a time when the Jews weren't trying to do what they're doing, right? Trying to take over. At least according to the narrative. Now again, personally, I don't believe history. I would say it's 1776, blah, 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 that kind of shit, like most people do when it comes to resets. But they claim the Pentagon was built from September 11th, yes, 60th anniversary, September 11th, 9/11, to January, 26th of 1943. Roughly 15, 16 months, if you include all of the planning, because again, they fight for the Pentagon 9 days before they started building it. The Pentagon is 7 total stories, 2 basements and 5 above ground, plus all of the rings. And they said they built all of that shit, in roughly 15 months. How do you pour a sub-basement with concrete that's 5 feet thick with steel inside of it, yada yada? How do you pour that and build on top of it before it's dried? Think about that. Think about that. How do you build the basement on top of the sub-basement before the sub-basement has hardened? So I'm not sure when this reset thing happened. I don't know. I'm not sure. Seems like so much of the narrative we're given is, 1850s, 1860s. A lot of shit happens in the 1880s. So I don't know. It really is sort of crazy. But that being said, right, so how do you know what to believe? I don't know. You people believe what you want to believe, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know why anybody accepts anything they tell us anymore. All they fucking do is lie. It's all Jewish lies. Everything that we're taught, told, everything that exists is part of Jewish lies. Lies to control us. Lies to keep us fucking stupid. This is all kind. Look at the comment section. Why doesn't anybody from the comment section pick something that I'm wrong about and just explain it? Just debunk what I'm saying. It's probably more healthy than you think, like venting to a therapist. No, it's definitely more healthy than people think. You should absolutely do what I do. Obviously, what I do bothers a lot of people, right? Look at all these piece of shit friars that are on here crying because I'm talking about stuff. Why would anyone ever be upset or bothered or even affected by me doing this? Where would the feelings come from? It's fucking stupid. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like what you have to say. So I'm gonna watch you every single fucking day I'm going to beg for your attention. You know, I'm going to only say, I'm not going to debunk anything you have to say or anything. I'm just going to cry and cry. What sense does that make? Howdy. Pump 8, please. Thank you. Have a great day. He's obsessed. It's hilarious. Yes, it's hilarious that somebody is obsessed with ending pedophilia. Only dumb friars say shit like that. I mean, it's just so goddamn obvious who's here. Who do you guys honestly think is going to get mad about anything I have to say? Other than dumb Jews, who is going to get mad? Who's going to care? They're obviously fucking mad. I'm sponsored by the ADL to troll you. Yeah, no doubt. That's probably the only little bit of truth you'll say. But I want people to understand. Would you say you fight anti-Semitism online? You do a terrible job. People need to understand what anti-Semitism is, right? Semitism, according to Webster's, let's just prove the point, shall we? So we'll do this here. Semitism definition. Okay, we'll put it into the Google machine. We'll go to Merriam-Webster.com. Merriam-Webster.com. We are on the... Come on. Oh yeah, it's on the thing. So you guys...
Semitism.
See, it's connected.
Semitism.
Semitism. You hear it? We're on the Semitism page.
Semitism.
Number 1, Semitic character qualities. Number 1B, a characteristic feature of a Semitic language occurring in another language. Number 2, policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. Policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. See, the best part about them is that they're just so stupid they can't actually, like, what are they going to argue? How are you going to argue with me about what the words mean? You don't even know, 1. But 2, you know, I'm not wrong. I mean, I'm providing you with the Webster's definition of the word. We all agree that Webster's is the definition, people, right? It's like my shirt. Right? So it's like these guys start arguing and getting all mad. Like, you're mad at who? Webster? I mean, the Jews absolutely are mad at Webster's for not adopting what they call the working definition of anti-Semitism. Right? It's this thing that they've created where it just covers, like, anything that they don't like is considered anti-Semitism. It's fucking silly. But the working definition of anti-Semitism is not the definition of Semitism. Semitism itself is its own word. And people don't understand that in 2020, the Jews, who run our government, our system, had hearing legislation. I don't even know. I'm not sure what you call it to change the spelling of a word, right? You got to change the spelling of a word. Word's been around, was first coined in, well, I don't know when Semitism was actually first coined, but anti-Semitism was first supposedly coined in the late 1880s, right? And it literally, from the beginning, was meant to be, you know, opposing the idea of Jewish supremacy. And when you have something on the books, you know, a demand that your people get policy and predisposition. And predisposition is like if your mom's family all has cancer, then even if you live a great life, you're still predisposed, you have a predisposition to cancer because of your mom's whole family or whatever. But policy too, literally the APAC policy conference is attended by more government officials than anything outside of the State of the Union address, which they're required to go to because of its government, state of the president is addressing the union, so the government officials have to go to it. That's the only other thing that exists that more government officials, more Republicans, Democrats, whatever, there's nothing else that brings more of them together. In 2016, is this you? Is this you, my man? Is this your house? Is this your house? Oh, okay. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so basically, Semitism's coined in the 1880s as a, in Germany, because the Jews were absolutely, it's why there was World War I. They try to put it on other shit. It's not. It's because, sick of the Jews that controlled things. And so anti-Semitism was coined, and it was used forever. The whole time, 140 plus years, people referred to, around 140 years, people would spell anti-Semitism, A-N-T-I hyphen capital S-E-M-I-T-I-S-M. Right? That's how it was spelled everywhere. That was the official spelling. Nobody even thought anything of it. I first noticed that, hey, that word has a hyphen and a capital letter not in the beginning of the word. I know what anti means. I wonder if Semitism has a meaning itself. And when I first tried to find it, I had to go through I put Semitism definition into the Google machine, and I had to go through 5 pages of anti-Semitism bullshit before it would just tell me the simple meaning of a word. I'm looking up this particular word. Tell me what this word means. And so, I'm doing it outside today. Fuck yeah, it's beautiful. And so, once I found that out, that really did change my perspective on things. I think you have to be pretty stupid to hear somebody say, we demand that the rules and regulations, the policies, and everybody's genetic programming opinion of us is favorable to us. We demand that. What's up, big dog? Hi, I come to see you first. Hola, mi amigos.
Hi.
I didn't get her super awake. I said, hola, do you think she understands Spanish? You think she's excited by Spanish? And so I did everything I could to tell anybody that would listen, hey, do you know what Semitism is? Are you serious? Do what you do. It's beautiful. Are you done with that? Will you bring it out, please? Where is the king? And so I would tell everybody I could, anybody that would listen, this is what Semitism means. And by 2020, they, like I said, decided they had a hearing, or whatever you have to do, that they no longer wanted people, Goyim, to know not to think, to know that well, their thing was they didn't want people to think that anti-Semitism opposed something called Semitism. They didn't want people to think Semitism was a real thing. And so they literally changed the spelling of the word. Something really unheard of. You've never heard of anything like that. You can't relate to that. You can't tell me a similar story. Do you mind talking for a second? I gotta go pee and I gotta find something downstairs. Find the cord.
What are y'all talking about?
Flowers, candy.
Flowers and candy. I'd like to see some flowers outside right now. I'm a bit tired of the fucking cold ass shit. Hey girl. I don't know if you're a girl or boy. My day's alright. I've got a little bit of the cold that's going around right now, so I'm not feeling 100%, but we have some sunshine for right now. This is Michigan right now, and in a few hours we're supposed to get some crazy storm with hail and high damaging winds and fucking Michigan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't see shit. You like my nails? They are, I don't know if you could see, but they go from blue to purple. They're fun. They need to be redone really bad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I don't know what y'all were talking about. I was listening to Jon Stewart. He was interviewing, I think it was somebody that had been with Biden's administration. I don't know. Not a Biden fan, and I absolutely hate Trump. But this guy was talking about, like, giving an analysis about the war going on right now and the difference between what they feel Israel's end game is versus the United States' end game and goals and whatnot, and they are absolutely not in line. And it's just fucking terrifying. Okay, so let's see. Oh my god, these comments are gold. Fucking hilarious. I am a lot more chilled out than my husband. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. When I'm passionate about something, I get worked up. But like I said, I'm not feeling great. And, all this stuff that we're bombarded with, we've been bombarded with thing after thing over a year now. I mean, it's been a little longer than that, but primarily since that fuckface walked into that office. So much every day. It's just tiring. It really is. Let's see. Oh, please. Yeah, well, our president is a predator. Oh, the trolls are thick today. Thick. Yes, I smoke marijuana, however.
Any idea where that green extension cord went?
No. He's looking for the extension cord so he can plug in outside and take y'all out into the great outdoors. Yeah.
Where that green cord went?
No. Is there one still plugged in over there that was being used for the closet or no?
No. Are you done?
I don't remember what I was saying.
No. No. Shit. That's gonna affect things.
Why don't you just take... Oh, is there anything else plugged into the strip? Just take the strip.
I need it to reach. It's got to be able to reach.
Is there still one plugged in next to the front door and the plug on the wall under that table?
Not, but I need the green one.
That one's pretty long. I had to wrap it around the thing to plug the tree in.
It's still not long enough. You know, story of my life. Just not long enough.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it'll have to work.
It is still there, yeah. Okay.
Can you go flip the switch for me?
What switch? Oh.
I just flipped the switch. Flip. We'll have to find that other cord though, because this isn't. Yeah, no, this isn't going to be acceptable. I don't like this very much at all. If you can remember where that green one is, that'd be great, because this isn't going to work very well. I just flipped the switch. Flip. Oh, you know what I think we did? I'm not. No, that's not it. No, we didn't. I was wrong. We did not. Nathan, Gabby, Nathan, Rudolph. Nathan, Gabby, Nathan, Rudolph. God damn it. You know what? You're not even using it, so I'm gonna use it for today. But use your plug here for today. But then I'll replace it, and we'll figure out where the green one is here. Today was gonna be the day, but they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you got to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Oh, come on, yes. All right. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, we're good. That is absolutely right. Which part am I right about? She cooked just like he is. She cooked just like he is. The first thing these people do when they wake up is cry about Jews. It's funny. I mean, like, do you understand, like, what a non-argument that is? You're not actually saying anything. So you're saying the first thing people do when they wake up, even though obviously this isn't the first thing that we did when we woke up. We've been up for quite some time. But the first thing that we do is to talk about what's wrong with the world, and that's a problem? Morning.
Now you know how big yours is.
Yeah. Ours will probably be bigger. They usually are.
And he was the runt.
Yeah, ours always end up bigger.
But they're beautiful dogs once they go.
They all are. I don't fucking like that guy. He and my wife are friends, but he's a traitor as far as I'm concerned. And once you show me your true colors, I don't unsee them. I remember, and I don't like it. Hells yeah, this is gonna be great. Back to the outside. Morning. Uh-oh, tough guy.
The suicide pilots now see.
All right, let's see. Yeah, look at this. Look at the... Just crybaby, 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 crybaby. Nobody actually addresses what's being said, right?
She rocks me, I'm a chance. She has me all, not me. My socks all look like stupid. That team's such a racist.
AOC, a clown. A fucking clown. Oh, I'm not in debate mode. I'm never in debate mode. There is no debate that comes my way. I'm in smash mode. I smash you dumb friars with every fucking comment, every interaction. Shay, what? Right? But this whole thing is, you know, AOC is a clown. They have to give us aspects of the narrative that seem like they go against the narrative. Or else we'll be like, hey, why does everybody seem to go with this bullshit? But, you know, the squad, Ilhan Omar, AOC, and Rashida Tlaib, they say what they're supposed to say when they're supposed to say it. They wouldn't be where they are if they weren't sucking dicks to get there. I wish it was real. I wish I could, yeah, they're so great, blah, blah. But it doesn't work that way, right? It's all just to distract you, to keep you in the certain little box. Like anybody who talks about Israel and if you're not talking about the Jewish problem, then you're just spitting out blah blah. It doesn't matter, right? You have to actually be talking about what the problem is. Everything else is what they put out to distract us. It's incoherent. It's so now you can't even understand the words being said. Talk about a desperate attempt at a non-argument. Right? You can't address what's being said, so you pretend like nothing's being said. We should end the pedophilia genocidal cult. How come none of you that admit to being cult members actually come in defense of this cult? How come you never have anything decent to say? Hey, Kanye was a company man from the beginning. The only reason Kanye did what he did, well, this time, was to distract the people from the fact that they were putting Netanyahu back in charge. That they were putting Netanyahu in the position he's in, where there's sort of this talks about elections going up, but there is no, you can't remove Netanyahu at this point. That was what the unique situation created, right? But he did, you know, Kanye was meant to be a warning to people like me. And he played his role to a T. You know, Kanye flat out said, look, I'm allowed to talk about the Jews. I'm Semitic as well, so I'm allowed to talk about Semitic stuff. He said that he gave a really vague, stupid threat, you know. Oh, yeah, shit. He gave a really stupid, vague threat. Jesus Christ. About, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. Which means nothing. It's just, it's nothing. It's a way of, you know, for example purposes, it's a way to say he made a threat when he actually didn't make any sort of threat. He just said some nonsense, but it was said to be a threat. He he also exposed the secret. He said that Jews were in, anybody that's in Hollywood has Jews in their background. They have Jews that make money off of them. They have Jews that are in their contracts. He didn't say anything, out of line. If anything, he gave them credit. Like anytime, the whole idea that they have all the money, power, and control, that's somehow a negative is just a joke. Just think about it. If somebody walked up to you and said, man, you sure look like you have a lot of money, power, and control, would you be like, oh, that is a slur, sir? I am offended by what you are saying. How dare you assume that I have money, power, and control? How dare you, sir? The answer is no. None of you would say that. If anything, you'd be like, nah, I don't have any of that. And really what these dumbass friars should have said when Kanye said that was, yeah, we've worked very hard over the centuries to create a platform where everybody, no matter what race, color, creed you are, can express their musical talents, their art, and get paid for it really well. And we've created a really great system that works for everybody. And yeah, we are behind a lot of it, but somebody's got to make things work. Somebody's got to make it work behind the scenes. And that would have just been that. People would have been like, oh, okay, that's sensible. Instead, they go, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. Not that you're wrong. You, being the dumb goy that you are, you can't say these things. Who the fuck do you think you're a dumb fucking goyim? Know your place. And that's what Kanye was for. Kanye was to reaffirm, to assert that. To let people know, especially people like me, look, if he can lose $1 billion overnight, what can they do to you, Guy Williams? You're the one that's actually saying stuff. Now, I encourage you guys to share this feed. Share the link. Click share, click Facebook. You can even title it, "This guy is crazy. Come tell him he's crazy." But you all got the warning, right? You already know you shouldn't do that, right? You got that warning when it was Kyrie. Kyrie was the warning to the rest of you. Kanye was for me. Kyrie was for you. Kanye is for people like me, for creators. And that's not saying it's better or anything. Some people are just good at talking. That's it. Doesn't mean your contribution is any less valuable, especially if you're somebody that shares and helps. But Kyrie shared a link, just a link. He didn't say, hey, everybody, check this out. He didn't say, burn those Jews, nothing. He just shared the link itself, naked. And the link was to a movie that none of us would have ever found unless the news made a big fucking deal out of it. Because nobody follows Kyrie. Nobody follows Kanye. We wouldn't have known what they had to say. We'd have just went about our lives never thinking twice about it. The only reason everybody got upset is because the news told them to. You're supposed to be upset about this. And I looked it up because the news told me to. I looked up what it was. I don't follow Kyrie. What was the video? What was the link that Kyrie shared? And the link is to a movie called From Hebrew to Negro. How the blacks were the original Jews and it got taken. And, it's just another fucking dumbass movie. All of that blacks are the original Hebrews thing is just to keep the faith. So Kyrie posted a link, and that's the link, that's the thing to you guys. So when I say share, call me crazy, do what you got to do, you can get you in trouble. And just in case you did, Dave Chappelle just happened to be hosting Saturday Night Live the following week and broke it all down for you, just in case you missed it. Starting off by reading a little piece of paper that says, I pledge allegiance to the Jews. It's really fucking crazy. The whole thing was crazy. Right? The whole thing was crazy. But this is how they do it, man. This is how they do this shit, right? You know, nothing to see here. It's just clouds. It's just what clouds do. It's not HARP. Why would you think anything about clouds just making perfect wave patterns? Huh? It's just clouds making wave patterns. Stopping right there. There's a line. This is all, Semitism is obviously they don't want us, like, it's a lot more powerful than people realize. Words are powerful. You've always heard your whole life the pen is mightier than the sword, right? And it's the truth. If it wasn't so important, they wouldn't have spent the money on the hearing, the trials, all that shit. They wouldn't spend any money on that stuff. They wouldn't have changed the spelling of the word if it didn't matter. But they know that if more people know that Semitism, the root of anti-Semitism, is Jewish supremacy, they'll be likely to turn away from it. And like I say, the whole thing with Kanye, you would have never known about Kanye. Do any of you actually follow Kanye? You would never know anything about that. And they do that shit all the time. Right? They do this shit all the time where they tell you about things that you would never know about. Like, most people are talking about shit they have no idea. Look at these goddamn comments. It's just insane. They can't address it. See, this is the hard part about doing what I do, is that I'm talking about, like, intelligent shit. You have to actually know about things like hearings, about the origins of words, what words mean. You have to actually have a leg in this race. And you guys don't know shit. I mean, it's that simple. You guys you don't know shit. So you try to bring the conversation to as many stupid places as you can to try to bring it back to your level. Why doesn't anybody engage in any of this? I mean, they're here. I clearly matter to them. They spend hours of their lives every day setting alarms and shit to be here. Then they come through and they cry about what I'm doing. I should stop what I'm doing. But then what would you watch? I mean, there are so many things out there that other people are doing great jobs with. James Lee, he does a great job. There's a lot of people out there that are exposing a lot of things that, at the very least will contribute. Once the more of it the better. It's not like you can know too much about the Jews, right? I mean, other than being paid to be here, everything else makes you look like makes you look worse. At least if you're here getting paid to obsess over me, to worship me like you do, that makes sense. To be like, no, I don't get paid. I just fucking, I find the guy who thinks we should kill pedos and I bug him because I don't, well, you know. You're either a Jew, a pedo, or a combination, which is more likely. But people aren't like randomly finding this shit, right? They're assigned this. They're directed to this page. This is a mission.
It's cruel when confusion's all your clones breed, and if all the known seeds
I mean,
plant
we
with
gotta, you know,
this alone
making these statements is always, you have to, to me, it's like normal. But I have to remember that there are going to be people here that are like, what are you talking about? So I have to explain it a little better. So we have act.io, right? On a completely locked up Facebook page, on a completely locked up page like this, right? Nobody can edit this. They always hide behind, anybody can edit. Nick Fuentes is a bitch. Nick Fuentes would never fucking have me on, because I say the truth. Nick Fuentes has clearly been bought and sold. He's just like all of these fuckers. Why do you think everybody keeps calling it satanic pedophilia? You know, like if it wasn't satanic pedophilia, it wouldn't be as bad. Why do you think every single one of the truthers that are allowed to have big pages tell you the exact same shit? They read from the exact same script. Why do you think that is? Huh? They all tell you to believe in the Jewish fairy tale that is the Bible. And there's a big, well, the Schofield Bible, they changed the Bible used to say this. Who gives a fuck what the Bible used to say? Like, you understand, why would all-powerful God allow the Bible to be changed and then used against us the way it is? Like, what is God waiting for?
then the fault falls on the pot. You can't demand improvement when you stall your kids with shots. They get mad because they're not the kid they were before. It's all a great big plot and a lot of it.
What is it, cowboy?
They just don't have the pension or helping intervention. It's just a show. You either rue the clues I mentioned, or you just go with the flow. Why do you think I'm allowed to be drunk, yet plant fight to be legal? With all of the junk, they stuff in the trunk, then blame it on our free will. How does all this evil control and supersede?
The rich eat the poor. Yeah, I mean, it's been, like, when it comes to the Epstein files and shit, the stuff that's come out. Like, if it was anyone else, and there was this much conjecture, this much, you know, it's evidence. You know, they're not just specifically making the same jokes over and over again in different circles and blah, blah, blah. Could you possibly have a Jewish friend? Fuck no, not anymore. No. Like if you were my friend and you said, hey, I joined NAMBLA, I'd be like, well, we're not friends anymore. Fuck you. I should probably beat your ass. What's the difference? What's the difference? This is a left versus right thing, but it's an economic bottom versus top issue. No, it's not.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like
No, it's not.
Shut up. I'm never your friend.
It's simply about control. When you print the money, you don't care about the money. Money is not there for them to have it. Money is there for us not to have. That's the magical secret of money, is that you will never have enough. It's impossible. You can't have enough. If you had enough money, then you might be happy. Then you might be looking into things that you normally wouldn't look into. You might be, right? It's not about money. And stupid people insist it is, because that's where you are. The money is just an element of the control. But the control is about really sick shit. I mean, this is the thing, like, you've been so programmed on what you can and can't say, you don't really look at the issue reasonably. But at the end of the day, we're talking about really sick shit. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your foundations are or whatever. If somebody says to you, one of the rituals in our thing, I mean, not everybody practices it, but a lot do, is cutting and sucking on baby penises. And you still go, yeah, that sounds like a good deal to me. You're fucked up. You're fucked up. And I think that's like I say, the religious aspect of things is about, keeping us stupid, keeping us fearful, keeping us in control. And it's really interesting and fucking obvious how they conflated Satanism and Judaism, how they switched it out. And I think the Gulf War Franklin story is a much bigger story than people realize. They almost got busted at that point. And there was a lot of people looking into the Jewish aspect of things. And so they activated Ted Gunderson, said, all right, you're going to be former FBI Chief Ted Gunderson, and you're going to go out there and you're going to expose a lot. But right at the crucial moment where it's like, all right, we're here, where do we go? Instead of going at the Jews like you should, you're going to make it into satanic. It's satanic. It's all satanic. Ooh, it's satanic. And you know. It's actually really brilliant in how they were able to, completely obfuscate the true problem by just, selling people something they've already bought into. You were forced into the whole religious structure from a young age, from a kid. Here's the bill on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan would never have me on. Wouldn't matter how big I got. He would never have me on. He wouldn't be allowed to. And if you think Joe's in control of Joe's shit, you're wrong. One of the best examples is the fact that he never had Eric Dubay on. He made a lot of money off of Eric Dubay. Made shirts, did all kinds of shit about, even Eddie Bravo and the 10th Planet, all that shit. That's all Eric Dubay. He brought lots of people on there to debunk Eric Dubay. One guy was this fucking fat, goofy Jew with like a dyed green mohawk and shit. Oh my God, he was so fucking goofy. Right? But Joe does what he's told. I'd ask Joe too many questions. You know? What made you change, Joe? Why is it you seemingly changed, like right after you looked at the camera on Joe Rogan Explains It All, or whatever it was called, and said, look, just tell me the truth. I swear I won't tell anybody. I'll even make jokes making fun of it if you just tell me the truth. I just want to know. Brendan Schaub, Joe Rogan, that other fucking Jew guy. They're not Jews, though, don't worry. Of course they're all Jews. Belch. In the Quran, Allah says the earth is egg-shaped. That's hilarious. If you're, like, if you've been tricked into what the fuck happened? If you've been tricked into the flat earth argument, you're doing as you're supposed to. You're supposed to do that.
The break in my spine finds itself there, impaired, where I have to
You know, you're supposed to be arguing with other sheep who know nothing. You guys don't know shit. Most of you, like, you haven't even bothered to, like, kind of look into it. You're just like, Earth is flat, yeah. I know it because I was that person. You know, I just thought the earth is flat. That's stupid. Those people are stupid, blah, 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 blah. And of course, by saying the earth is flat, that gives the people the out. You know, engaging in the earth-shaped argument is one thing. But to call it flat, well, now you give stupid people, you know, this belief that it's a solar system full of round planets and then the earth is this frisbee. Like, well, how is that possible? Blah. That's stupid. And you're like, yeah, that is stupid. Because that's not what's happening. But at the end of the day, none of us are allowed to, you know, get a plane and fly to the highest points and see what we can see. None of us are allowed to get a plane and fly around the world north to south. How come nobody's ever done that? We've supposedly gone around the world east to west. We've done it going against the spin of the earth, supposedly. Yet we've never done it around the world north to south. Why not? I mean, the planes fly over the weather, right? So what does it fucking matter? You know, there's none of us that are allowed to you know, put together a crew, buy ourselves a sailing vessel, and make an attempt to circumnavigate the South Pole or the Antarctica. We're not even allowed to go there. All the countries in the world that can't get along about anything, they all agree that none of us Goyim should step foot on Antarctica unless they are there to tell us exactly what to do. Why is there no video of somebody falling off the flat? See, exactly. That's exactly the point. You know, people just say stupid shit. Why isn't there a video of someone falling off the flat earth? Like, it just showed, like, the lack of intelligence, the lack of scrutiny there. You're just going with some dumb shit. And everybody that argues against the flat earth or the earth-shaped argument, it's because they've never looked into it. It's that simple. I can guarantee you've never watched 200 Proofs the Earth is Not a Spinning Ball or Under the Dome by Mark Sargent, Sergeant Mark. I guarantee it. I challenge every single one of you if you're so smucking fart here,
If I stay here, I'm dead right.
you go get yourself a pad and a pencil.
Junkie rhyme.
You go watch 200 proofs the Earth is not a spinning ball.
Snug in my corona.
You write down each number that you can debunk.
The boss. I'm
Then make yourself a video.
my defense.
Call it Guy Williams Sucks, just so we can find it real easily.
Come with
And you just read off the numbers that you can debunk and how you can debunk them. And then I'll go live and I'll watch your video and we'll see what you have to say. I mean, other than offering that, I don't really know what else to do. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to see the best evidence you can come up with. Doesn't seem like you guys are willing to do much. You're not willing to be wrong, but you're absolutely not going to prove that you're right. Let's see. Just look at the stupid comments. Like this, I don't even know why I would keep reading any of this shit. It's just dumb. I looked into DMT. Great, cool. Why have we lost the technology to land on the moon? I don't fucking know. That should be pretty substantial to anybody that's paying attention. Not only did we lose the ability to do it, we lost the proof, the telemetry data showing exactly how we did it in the first place. God damn. Hey, it's all just dumb.
I assume Kutachin feels the same. But this is I dedicate this to my wife, my mother,
Act.io
and all of the daughters out there.
is
We love you.
a social networking service used by supporters of Israel to oppose online, quote, anti-Israel content, such as the Boycott, Divestments, and Sanctions Movement, BDS. Its activities were referred to as, quote, an online propaganda campaign and, quote, a virtual situation room of pro-Israel experts.
There's such misplaced self-hate, like you vape your own lungs. Run, you now push
Act.io directed its users to missions to like, share, and comment on and share pro-Israel materials on social media. It also asked users to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Pay attention. Users were guided how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. Notice how all of these dumbasses sort of say the same dumb shit? Not one of them addresses what's being said, and instead they just say shit like, that's projecting, and take your meds, and they haven't used schizophrenia. Like, I've had, a handful of schizophrenia comments since I exposed the shit. It used to be every day. Multiple friars would come in and say the same shit. But suddenly, once it gets exposed, they stop doing it. Think that's a coincidence? But again, directed to missions, guided how to respond. How come they're never guided with Jews are good because of, Israel's good because, it's never anything good. It's only this dumb shit that always makes them look worse, but they're inbred stupid, so what do you expect? Guided how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. The app also provided users talking points or sharing or upvoting an allied comment. The app also provided users with ready-made memes promoting Israel's perspective for them to share. By completing the missions, users earned points, unlocked badges, prizes, and had their scores displayed on leaderboards. This was one of these things where I used to read it to you guys, and be like, man, this shit was so fucked up. They were using this against us. How come nobody talks about how they were using this against us? I think they might still be, but, you know, we don't know, blah, blah, blah. Belch. I used to think it was important before it was reinstated. Now it's here again. They're openly using this system. The application was relaunched in early 2026 under the name Rise App, with the former Act.il owners partnering with Reichman University for the release and also transferring the former Act.il user base to the new service. 40,000 plus user base transferred to the new service. And again, this is a system that is set up to encourage random Jews. They sign up for the service. They get assigned a profile. That profile has some sort of point counter on it. And then they assign each individual missions. They find people like me, whoever. You know, they don't want people like that to be wasting energy on company men like Ian Carroll. Right? Ian Carroll is one of their guys. So they don't want to spend a bunch of time on Ian Carroll's page, which is why you don't see them on Ian Carroll's page. Right? You do, but not like this. And who knows, they may get penalized if they get blocked or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how the system works. Right? I don't have a man on the inside letting me know how this works. I would love it if one of you Jews were actually a decent human being, and you would, let us know what this is actually like, infiltrate it for us. That would be amazing. But that's just not going to happen. I already know. I don't have any hope in that part. I don't have any hope that Jews are suddenly going to be good people. And the thing is, even if it does happen where suddenly they start changing their tone, well, it's only because you realize how much danger you're in. You had a ton of time to change your tone and do the right thing before people were fighting back and the bottom was dropping out. Now that your fucking supremacy is on the chopping block, now you finally see it. Oh, that's convenient.
They say our lights need dimming, so they cut our lines at birth. To me, it's like the house is skimming, and I just don't see the work.
According to 9+972, which is an Israeli propaganda system, Act.il was the centerpiece of a digital campaign called For IL, or For Israel, announced in 2017 by Gilad Erdan, then Minister of Strategic Affairs, for the promotion of Israel and the delegitimization of BDS, boycott, divestments, and sanctions. The Act.il app would assign users missions. Look at that. You guys think that's just normal? There's just a little ribbon of clouds that decides to just do that out of the blue. What made that just happen? That wasn't like that 5 minutes ago. The app would assign users missions. I just can't stress that enough. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Please don't cut the lawn. Mutilating kids might.
Like, this is the smoking gun ultimate sort of evidence that you wonder why more people aren't saying something about it. Why isn't our government pretty upset about this? They have incentivized people to use their network. Again, it's not real profiles that come through here. They have them, it's manipulated. They manipulate the numbers. Oh, they've been here for 13 years and have 1 subscriber. Shit like that. You know how many of these commenters have that situation? And then on the other side, well, their profile is a day old. They made it specifically for this page. But they have these fake profiles. None of them actually attach to anyone's real identity because they hide they're pedophiles. They are fucking pedophiles. Why don't you think any of them come in here and deny it? You ever hear any of these fuckers deny being pedophiles? No. But they come here and I don't know. I don't know if it's... I would assume there's base points for every comment made. But probably more points if you can get people to respond. If you can get the commenter, another commenter to respond. If you can get the person doing the video to respond. If you can, you know... I don't know. I don't know how it works. Look at that. What's keeping these clouds spaced apart? Why are there... What's the spaces for? I mean, it literally looks like fucking lines on a fucking... on a table. Funny how at a time when cocaine was a hugely popular thing, this image wasn't everywhere. You would think the clouds looking like lines on the table would have been an image in everything, you know. The famous Coke spoon, that was a famous one. You know, the moon with the spoon and the stars going up. Yeah, that shit's really fucking commonplace and famous. But because this wasn't happening in the 80s like that, people didn't know. They absolutely would have. That would have been a huge image. I mean, if you look at you know, there's this great documentary about rap and crack and the drug scene, and how, you know, and it points out at one point how, so, like, obviously, you know, you had J-Rock and rock this and sugar this and sugar that, and, you know, cocaine was a huge part of the culture. Look at this. What is making these hit here? This one's going this way. This one's going this way. Or it's round. One of the two. But right here, there's some sort of difference happening. What is that? Act.io would assign its users missions to challenge social media posts it considered to be critical of Israel or in favor of the BDS movement. It doesn't get any more black and white than this, right? Erdan called it the Iron Dome of Truth. Act.io was a joint project of the private Israeli university IDC Herzliya and the US-based Israeli-American Council. The Maccabee Task Force, one of Sheldon Adelson's foundations, is a major funder of Act.io. Like, it just... It's like they're laughing at us doing it, you know? Oh yeah, Sheldon Adelson and the Maccabees are a part of it. That makes sense. They all get it. They get the joke. Most of you don't get it because you're not supposed to. You're not in the group. How would you get the inside joke if you didn't know? The organization behind Act.io is staffed by former intelligence officers and has a collegial relationship with the Israeli intelligence community. It has a close relationship with the Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs, which combats the BDS movement, which it views as a threat. This used to be the last paragraph. It used to say, according to Mendeweiss, an email sent in March 2022 to the app's users announced that the app would be shut down and that the users should continue to interact with Act.io's content on its other social media platforms. Wish I knew what those were. Wow. Look at that. Why would anybody think that's just normal, natural? Why is it like that here and then not that way here? What's the difference? Look at that shit. That is so creepy. It's just creepy. Now the bottom paragraph is the one I read earlier. The app was relaunched in early 2026 under the name Reichman University. 40,000 user base. It's fucking nuts, man. It's nuts. Caron. Oh, they think they're going to get on me today. Come as head on my slowest day and your quickest, you still have no chance. I left the playground a long time ago. Well, of course they're going to go after you, Karen, because you address it. If you just ignored it, they wouldn't. But that's why they go after you, because I ignore them. Look at that. Now it's getting all messed up. What's happening right there? What's happening where I just the connection is somehow waning or whatever, that suddenly the space between is now compromised. It wasn't like that 2 minutes ago. That is fucking nuts, man. Just love this shit. Anything they can they're just trying so desperately. And these are all Jews. These are all admitted Jews. This is how they operate, because this is all they have. Believe me, I wish my opposition was better. I wish they were better at this shit. I wish I could learn from my mistakes that they point out and all that shit. But I think at the end of the day, touch grass. I think at the end of the day, I've gotten past that point. That's the thing that that's my issue coming through, right? My issue, my insecurities, my lack of confidence, and the way I'm supposed to think. I'm not supposed to think I'm this good. I'm not supposed to think that I'm capable of deciphering the code. What the fuck is that? You guys see this shit right here? Looks like an eagle head or a Ravens logo. That is fucking weird looking, don't you think? I wonder if we keep looking at it, if something's gonna change. This is weird. It's so out of place. Oh well. I know, as I said there, quickest days. Yeah, no, I know. I wouldn't do this if you were in Iran. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, in that short window, it just vanished. Almost. That's really weird.
It was colossal, and I'm so much worse now. I feel like a burnt cow. I'm so far beyond jerky. I only use the word wow when I think how this hurts me. But it's all controversy, and I feel so confused. I keep begging for mercy, though I don't see the use.
Now that area that was all disturbed is a big hole. What the fuck just happened? Dude. I don't do this enough. I've stopped looking at the clouds and there's so many the sky's fucked up videos that I don't need to talk about it. That's why I talk about what I talk about, because nobody else does. Right? There's enough people already talking about all the other shit. What do you need me to say it for? You want to just have your guy say the same thing? No. We should be trying to expose new things. Everybody should be focused on trying to teach somebody else something. Yeah, no one ever talks about you if they don't. I mean, they do, but not correctly. Everybody that does talk about Jews will tell you that you can't blame the whole cult. You can't blame the whole cult. I have some friends that were nice to my face. Somebody's nice to my face, so I gotta... What? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know anybody else that's telling you that that it's a cancer. And those that do talk about the Jews also tell you to believe in Jesus, which is just stupid. You know, it's like spanking your kids and then hugging them afterward. You know, because you feel bad, but they're like, why are you fucking hugging me? You just hurt me. Just stupid shit, man. Oh my God, you're outside. Yeah, well, it's not Tel Aviv everywhere else, so it's not nice outside all year round. It's cold here, so we can't just be outside all year round, you dumbass. Which, again, I love when people point that shit out, because it's like, okay, so you are paying attention to the video, meaning you could be addressing what's been said, but you just don't want to, I guess. You know, on the fun part, we just need to see the fun future that we all know there ain't there currently. So, I think you, yeah, so this dude has said everything he can possibly come up with. Now I'm a plant. First it's this, now it's this, then it's this, then it's that, then it's this. Anything but address what's being said, which I hope you guys are paying attention to. These guys keep wanting to talk about me, and I want to talk about the bigger picture. There's a big difference there. They obsess over me, where I obsess over them. You know, the whole thing. You know, ask your Jewish friends what Hanukkah is. What's Hanukkah celebration of? See what they have to say. Says it right off the bat, right? Right from the start. Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday that commemorates the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucid, I don't know how you say it, Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century BCE, when the Maccabees successfully recovered Jerusalem and the Second Temple. You go, wow. Maccabee Revolution. I don't remember hearing about the Maccabee Revolution. I don't even think about that shit. Yeah. Who cares? Everybody around you does. In Detroit, they erect a 30-foot menorah, big steel fucking menorah with gas attached to it, so It's got gas for the flames. It's 30 feet tall. It's huge. Who pays for that? We do. Right?
Sand fires a liar when given the cost and the desire to squash the empire.
But it more points to, like, if I say, what Jewish holiday stands out to you the most, right? Everybody will say Hanukkah, right? Hanukkah is Jewish Hanukkah, Hanukkah song. Like, there's no other song like that is about a different holiday. Yom Kippur, Yom Kippur is probably close, but everybody knows about Hanukkah. Right? So Hanukkah is this really big fucking deal. Basically, Hanukkah is the most important holiday from a Goyim perspective. It's their number one holiday. It might not be, it isn't. They have lots of them. But Hanukkah, from our perspective, is number one. And so, that's something that we didn't do ourselves. That's the bullshit that was put on us.
The jester supplied real eyes, real lies, real lies. And I liked it, so I stole it. Awaiting a pole shift, the handshake's a cold fish. Info so bogus,
What are you doing?
I know it's not true. Religion's the proof.
Yeah.
Poop isn't
Now you owe me an hour.
faith isn't just what you make it.
You're not supposed to be doing this shit, bud. Why do we gotta do this every day?
Admit you like
Okay,
boys,
you don't have to sit here and make sure she's asleep. That's stupid. I mean, I give you credit for that attempt, but how are you making sure she's asleep? Okay, well, that's all you're doing is making when she wakes up even worse. Because she's going to wake up with even more energy. So, you're supposed to be chilling out, not watching computer screens until 11. So now, shut the computer screen off, and you owe me till 12. Sorry, bud. Consequences. Mushrooms, whether used for microdosing or tripping, are not off my menu, although, like my food, I gotta wait for their seasonal beautiful appearance. Yeah, I have no desire to have any sort of psychedelic experience. At this point, I'm too old, and having kids has just ruined it for me. Oh, look. So I'm standing in the spot. It's the one that normally connects the tree. So this tree, and then there used to be a tree right here. It would connect the two trees. It's just a little higher than it normally is. There it is. But again, so how many of you have ever heard of the Maccabean Revolt? Like, it, again, you can dial it down as much as you want to, but it's actually a pretty big fucking deal. Well, we're presented with it all throughout that time of year, where the TV stations will be like, just want to wish a happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends out there. They don't do that with everything else. And Hanukkah lasts, 7 days or some shit? 8 crazy nights? I don't remember. We get that shit, like, really, really pushed on us. These dumbasses. So to think that something that's so goddamn prominent, like it's everywhere. We can't just do. It's not just some fringe holiday that people. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, go watch it next room. So take it out, put it in next room. How did that get so cool? Nigger.
And even though shit's there to snare this sort of thing, somehow it slips there early warning. System, it's boring, like snorting, shortening, pretending conforming's not forcing.
Like snorting, shortening. Probably not a good idea. Alright, so let's see.
The nonsense they preach.
Oh shit. It's always fun when your hand doesn't work. Ugh.
Smother yourself. You're simply counting whales. The test you fail impels the truth. Jason.
Look at this shit. Look at these dumb weirdos. Like, they don't even understand that even when they're being nice, they're doing it in weird ass ways that nobody else does. Like, why would Karen ever give half a shit that you suddenly think she's delightful or based or what? You guys are fucking weird, man. The arrogance in thinking that you can like, I'm giving you a pass now, Karen, and like you guys are just so creepy and weird. You know, and again, all of it is to do, you know, to anything but engaging in what's actually being said. Anything but trying to debunk what I'm talking about or explain what I'm talking about. It's really fucking crazy. But again, for you to not, you know, you're so ignorant. And at this point, you clearly don't know. Like when it comes to the Hanukkah thing, either you know and you don't want me explaining it, or you really don't know. And if you don't know, then you should maybe want to know because it's a big deal. And it's a bigger deal than you realize because as soon as you go, okay, so Hanukkah is what? It's a celebration. It commemorates the Maccabee revolt. Maccabee? Well, wait, isn't that what Sheldon Adelson's thing? The Maccabee Foundation? The Maccabee Task Force? The Maccabee thing is actually pretty prominent. The descendants of the Maccabees. That's what they refer to themselves as. When you read the auto-emancipation page, further down when they start talking about the quotes from the thing, not just the ideas. Because remember, auto-emancipation says that anybody who doesn't believe in Jewish supremacy has a psychosis, a pathological disorder, and an irrational phobia. You have mental issues if you don't agree with Jewish supremacy. But, you know, he said, you know, as the descendants of the Maccabees, we should be, you know, some bullshit. But you'll hear, whenever you hear them talk, and I don't separate them from Israelis. So, you know, Israel to me doesn't exist. It's just an idea. It's just a belief. I'm always talking about them in general. I don't separate the two. Well, there's the Israelis, and then there's the Jews, and there's a big difference between the two. Yeah, I guess if you're talking about maybe like the genocide thing, you know, there are a lot of Jews that are opposed to the genocide. But sorry. There are some Jews that are opposed to the genocide.
A democratic illusion on stolen land. One vision conceived by pipe designed to fail.
Good. That fucking dick that killed that little Messiah Harris girl.
I don't know.
It was all over the news. He died in prison a couple weeks after his sentencing.
How?
Because he raped and fucking killed, I think she was 13.
How did he have like was he sick?
Yeah, in the fucking head.
Well, what caused his untimely death?
Karma.
That's not how karma works, sweetheart.
Oh, in his case it did. Very
But
swiftly.
that's
and
not
painfully.
karma. People need to understand that's not what karma is. Karma is used so incorrectly by Western society. It's not a do unto others kind of situation. Karma means you live your life in a way that builds up good karma, so that when you die, you go into the next realm with lots of good karma built up. That's literally it. It doesn't, it's nothing. It's just another stupid control scheme, bullshit tactic that misused, misrepresented. You know, if you,
Fine, rename it universal justice. Don't care. He
Whatever,
got what was
yeah.
coming to him.
but like, you know,
And I just
just
hope they
that
made it twice as painful as he made it for that little baby girl.
people don't understand. Like, if you believe in karma, belief in karma itself negates karma, right? Because if you're doing something because you would hope that in a similar situation somebody would do that to you or do that for you, you're helping somebody because you hope that if your family or friends needed help, somebody would help. That's a tit for tat.
I think
You know,
that
I'm doing
that's
this.
a secondary. I think that people primarily
Right.
do it because it's the right thing to do, but also you would hope that somebody would do that for you too. But you're doing it primarily because it's the right thing to do.
Sure.
So,
But
you know,
sure,
not
that's
that
what
to
you
have that
say.
as a
But if you're doing it with that secondary notion, like if you're like, I'm doing this and there's just no benefit, I'm not going to get any benefit, I never would get any benefit, I don't hope, you know, I'm just doing it strictly because it's the right thing to do. That's what's going to, in the case of your karma belief, your karmatic beliefs, whatever you want to call it, then that's what's going to work. If you're like, I'm doing this because it's the right thing, you only do shit that makes you feel good. Most people aren't going to do something unless they're getting their piece out of it.
I mean, I wasn't gonna get anything out of the vigil. I didn't know those people.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You
It
absolutely
was
did.
literally because I felt so helpless as a mother
Yeah.
looking at another mother grieve. Like,
And you got
oh my
a really
God.
good feeling out of knowing that you were helping somebody in a really bad situation. And there's nothing.
Yeah.
What now? You didn't get her outside in time?
No, I took her outside. She wouldn't. Tucked in. She went.
Okay, well, you must have been outside for what, 30 seconds? Nathan, what do you mean you took her outside, dude? I was just talking to you a couple of minutes ago. So you took her outside and you were so impatient that you came right back in. If she didn't pee yet, why would you have brought her back in? What?
Just like you when you first wake up in the morning, like you personally never have to pee the second you wake up, right? It takes you a minute of
It's not even that.
hold on, getting up, maybe walking around, and then all of a sudden your brain's like, oh shit, bladder's full, right?
It's not
So when
that.
you took her out and you just sat her there for a second and she didn't go right away, you assume she didn't get
No, that's not it. You're looking at it from a good perspective. He was standing there going, I don't want to stand here anymore. I want to go inside. I don't want to stand here anymore.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, you were. Because if you were outside with her and you would have just maybe run up and down with her or something, that would have
She
been.
wouldn't want. She was wait. She woke up, so she was tired. All she did was laying down and eating the stick.
I know.
So-
She's
so
a
what
pup.
you need to
Come
do-
on, dude. Come on, dude. You know better than this. Goofy.
See how
Get-
yellow
get-
this is? She's not drinking enough water. Go get more paper towel.
Oh. The world spins on its axis, one man struggling on another axis. Faithless, the hymn of the big wheel, yin yang. I don't know. I don't know.
Man.
I mean, this is what we did yesterday. And like as soon as we got outside, he was like, all right, well, she doesn't want to go.
Right, so she only went a little because she doesn't want to go in the house. If she bees in the house, she got to take her out, right?
Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. Lazy ass teenager. I mean, what does anybody expect? That's the funny part. The lazy ass teenager is what they do. They're lazy. But think about so back to Hanukkah. We know Hanukkah is the Maccabee revolt. You know that Maccabee is used just everywhere with them. So let's find out what Maccabee revolt is. The Maccabean revolt, or the Hasmonean revolt, was a Jewish rebellion led by the Maccabees against the Seleucid Empire and against the Hellenistic influence on Jewish life. The main phase of the revolt lasted from 167 to 160 BCE, minus, and ended with the Seleucids in control of Judea. But conflict between the Maccabees and Hellenized Jews and the Seleucids continued until 134 BC, with the Maccabees eventually attaining independence. It's just so stupid. Like, just think about how are they keeping track of things? How are they dating things? When you understand that the fact that you live in AD is just another one of these dumbass conspiracies, you can't give this any credence. I like how he didn't even give you shit when you caught him. Who, my kid? My kid's a good kid. Okay, so there's a lot of bullshit here, but let's see if we can get to the good part of it. Beginning in 338 BC, Alexander the Great began an invasion of the Persian Empire, Iran. In 333 to 332, Alexander's Macedonian forces conquered the Levant, including Palestine. But Palestine doesn't exist. How could they have conquered Palestine? Palestine didn't exist. Huh. That's weird. He thinks that everyone is... Who are you talking to? You're so desperate for approval from someone that you're just saying dumb shit, hoping that somebody in the comment section goes, yeah, you're right, dummy. I think the same way, dummy. And you'll be like, yeah, I know. Wow. Look at those fucking rails. What is happening here that every part of the clouds, every time the clouds roll in like this, once they get over my house, it starts busting all up like there's some sort of weird frequency being beamed down, huh? Okay, so now we're on the Antiochus. Antiochus IV issued decrees officially suppressing the Jewish religion. Subjects were required to eat pork and violate Jewish dietary law, work on the Jewish Sabbath, cease circumcising their sons, and so on. What does and so on mean? We're talking about a revolt. We're talking about the persecution of a peoples. We're talking about all these things. The first two things you named off, they sound like, wow, that's big at first. But when you kind of break it down, like, how do you force someone to eat pork? How do you force someone to eat anything you want that they don't want to eat? I mean, it's one thing if you have people prisoner and shit, but how would you force anyone to eat pork in a free sort of society? And how many pigs were there back then? There couldn't have been a whole shit ton of pigs, especially considering the Muslims all lived there too, and they didn't like pork. But just think about these are the reasons for the Maccabee revolt. The suppressing of the Jewish religions, or the Jewish religion, the requiring of eating pork and violating Jewish dietary law, to work on the Jewish Sabbath? You mean like they weren't just allowed to take a day off each week when other people had to work? Do you understand how ridiculous that is? To think that I should honor your religious bullshit and not my business not operate the same way because you have some religious bullshit? Like, I guess if it's like once a year, but to say I have to honor this every single week, that's fucking stupid, especially considering, like, what if Saturday was their big day? What if they were like a cafe or something like that? Which, again, we're talking about in the minuses. So what work, like, what mall, what department store that they worked in at that time, that's kind of weird. But then at the same time, like, if you're working on a farm, if the crops have to come in or whatever it may be, I don't care about your fucking religious bullshit. I hired you to do a job. You need to do the job when the job is needed, especially when it comes to something like farming, which is necessity. Like, you have to do it on certain days. And so on means, etc., etc. Right. And Aramaic religions are relatively new on this planet when compared to the ancient Chinese practices 10,000 years old, even Buddhism. Yeah, I mean, so we're told. Who knows? Who fucking knows? I don't fucking know. I know that they say that the Chinese, as early as 500 BC, were running gas lines to light and heat their homes using bamboo piping as early as 500 BC. I've always thought it was strange that you know, between 10 and 30,000 years Chinese history supposedly goes back. So why we only study European history always seemed, you know, racist, but fitting. I mean, if you're a person of color, you're not really surprised by the racism you see in this country. You know, just because it might come out in a new way doesn't mean you're like, oh shit, I never thought that was possible. You were forced to eat cream of wheat once. Were you a child? I mean, if you're a child, or if that's the option you have and you're starving, well, beggars can't be choosers. Look at this shit. What the fuck is going on? Look at these lines that are just appearing everywhere. And they're all going in different directions. Some sort of frequency is being bombarded on us right now, and it is strange. I just showed you this like a minute ago, and it was flat. So obviously something was turned on that rippled the clouds. It's called cymatics. I mean, are you going to be dumb enough to deny that I just showed you this thing and there was no ripples, and now suddenly it's full of ripples? What the fuck? Where do the ripples come from? The Templars in Khmer Empire had 20,000-year-old, literally proven, and had Buddhist carvings. I studied in China for 6 years, and now I live in Thailand. Yeah, but it's not literally proven. It's just proven to you. You have been given a narrative that you accept. You know, we're talking about the Chinese. We're talking about the Thais. The system that's in charge there fucking lies to its people. You know, so we don't know any of it. We really don't know any of it. We know that the only thing that we can say we know for sure is that they lie to us. But personally, I'm in the reset boat. So did the reset just happen on one side of the planet? No, the reset affected everything. The Great Wall of China, the Great Wall of Tartaria. The Great Wall of China was to keep the Chinese out, not the other way around. The gun turrets face into China. They've adjusted a lot of it. They've done repairs and put them on the other side, but hey, keep going. The rebellion. Let's see if we can get to this bullshit. I'm getting through all this bullshit. Oh, it's so dumb. Like, to think that, like, this is just random shit. Look at all this supposed random Jewish nonsense. It's all just stories. Matthias sparks an uprising, 167. Guerrilla campaigns, 167 to 164. Continued struggle, 163 to 160. All of this was just written down, huh? The Battle of Elasa. In 163, Seleucid King, Demetrius I went on campaign in the east to fight the rebellious Timarchus, I don't know. He left his general Bacchachides, I don't know, to govern the western part of the temple. Bacchachides led an army of 20,000 infantry and 2,000 cavalry into Judea on a second expedition, intending to reconquer the restive province before it grew too used to autonomy. Before it grew too used to autonomy. The size of the rebellion, the rebel army facing them is disputed. First Maccabees implausibly claims that Judah's army of Elsia was tiny, with 3,000 men, of which only 800 to 1,000 would fight. Historians suspect the true numbers were larger and possibly as many as 22,000 soldiers. It's all just fairy tale bullshit. That's what people just don't understand. This isn't historical. This is just fairy tale bullshit. Look, down to one person. I got one viewer, 10 likes, 2,500 subscribers. You know, just think about this. This is minus 160 BC. They had 22,000 soldiers. The other side had 20,000 soldiers. At least. How were they eating? What were they eating? What was the food situation like back then? How were they feeding all of these soldiers? And you know what I mean? Like, just the logistics of it all. They're all marching along. Like, it's all just so stupid. None of this shit is real. I don't buy any of this shit. I'm trying to find the fucking... I don't know why it's not letting me find this whole thing. Like, it's starting way later in the narrative than it's supposed to. I'm trying to find out about the Maccabees. Let's go to the Maccabees now. In the 2nd century BC, Judea lay between blah blah blah. Antiochus became ruler, 175. First book of Maccabees. Here we have it again where it's saying that while the civil war between Jewish leaders led the kingdom politics was wrong, see the revolt, conflict between the Maccabees, but by the persecution of the people who observed the Torah by having their children circumcised and refusing to eat pork. Like, clearly circumcision has always been seen as this horrific fucking thing. Right? That's when they talk about, you know, there's this narrative that they've been kicked out of 109 countries in the last 1,000 years. But nobody ever really wants to ask why they were kicked out. You know, and they definitely, like, this is historical fact. They use it as this persecution narrative that they're so persecuted that they've been kicked out of 100. Because just for being who they were kicked out of 109 countries in the last 1,000 years. But nobody said, why? Wait, why? You know? Look, that spot I just showed you looks like it's been hit with an eraser or something. What the fuck is going on today? But over here you can still see a few of the ripples, but right where it was, it's all been erased. And most of the ripples around here have all been turned off, except now they're... What's going on? We got more ripples here.
Much less treat than trick. But taking that trip down memory lanes like faking a flip, then asking for change. The myth isn't the same, but the face hiding is. A bastard whose name's disguised as a gift. Flipping the switch, turning them off, you'll probably...
According to First Maccabees, Antiochus banned many traditional Jewish and Samaritan religious practices. All right, let's see all these. Let's see this. He made possession of the Torah a capital offense and burned the copies he could find. If you're going to eliminate something, you have to do that. Sabbaths and feasts were banned. Okay, I mean, again, circumcision was outlawed. It's always mentioned almost immediately, but nobody talks about it. And mothers who circumcised their babies were killed along with their family. Oh, they love to make a fucking story ridiculous, don't they? And then, if they found out that they killed the mother and the whole family for circumcised, after they were persecuting us so badly. And traditional Jewish ritual sacrifice was forbidden. Okay, so think about this right now. This is the complaints that have lasted 2,000 plus years. That their book that talks about this is how you violate children. Like, it lays it out for you. The rituals, when they say that the scripture is twisted to you know, it's amazing how everybody can somehow twist the scripture into reading the same way, huh? They can, and it's all intuition, right? That's what the doctor said. That it's as if evil itself has intuition. They weren't all taught to do these rituals and all that to a T. No, they just all had intuition. They intuited it the same. That's the narrative they give. It's bullshit. It's like rice in China. Any country of people say man, it's got something. 109 countries say get out. That's a pretty good reference. It's getting a lot darker. Sky was bluer earlier. Right. They fucking sprayed it and harped it fucking closed, man. What do you... This is a great example of it. Look at this shit. You can see it. You know, you can see how it's like below the other clouds. Whatever this is has been, it's below. Let's see. But okay, so it says that the book, obviously if you're going to ban a religion, you're going to ban the book. So, okay, the books were banned and burned. Celebrations like the Sabbath and the feasts were banned because, again, you've banned the shit. Like, we don't want you doing this anymore. The actual, like, only specific thing that's mentioned is circumcision, right? Circumcision was outlawed. And if you were found out to have mutilated and molested your baby, apparently they killed you and your family. And ritual sacrifice was forbidden. How does this sound like the worst persecution you've ever heard? How could you persecute against a group of people? All they want to do is mutilate and molest their children while also performing sacrifice rituals. Like our society, our Maxwell provided school textbooks told us that the Incas and the Aztecs and shit, that they were savages because they would do sacrifice. They would do human sacrifices. They were doing the same shit. They were also sacrificing animals and all kinds of shit. They still do it to this day. Kaporat is a disgusting practice that you can't call yourself an animal lover. You can't call yourself a decent person if you watch somebody pretend to put their sins inside of a chicken, grab it by the head and spin it around to break its neck. And now they used to donate the chicken meat to the poor, but now they just burn them in dumpsters. It's really fucking weird. You know, I mean, if somebody can tell me what part I'm getting wrong, I'm all ears. But to me, this is pretty fucking weird. It is said that, here we go, it is said that an idol of Olympian Zeus was placed on the altar of the temple and that Israelis set up altars to Greek gods and sacrificed unclean animals on them. What was with this animal sacrifice insanity? And then certain animals are okay, but other animals are not. You got hooved animals, and the main objective of Anticus is explained through Hasidic thought. It says that Anticus didn't mind that the Jews kept the culture of Judaism. Rather, all he wanted was to eradicate the laws of the Torah, the mitzvos, that weren't logical, but rather kept solely because it was God's command. Again, who doesn't, like, okay, you guys believe whatever God bullshit you want to, but you can't keep fucking violating children. Why are you mutilating and molesting children? Why is that so important to you? This is such a big fucking deal, and it just doesn't get addressed enough. It's literally the sun eating of scary folklore, especially over here. Yeah, it is disgusting. And they're saying, look, he didn't even try to eradicate Judaism. He said, you guys can have your shit. Just the laws, the things that you believe in that are contrary to fucking logic, sacrificing animals and your own children, like, that needs to stop. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, they should be giving the chickens to the poor, right? Because the notion of them transferring their sins onto the chicken is fucking stupid. And to kill these chickens for nothing, nobody even gets to eat off of it, that's unbelievably selfish. And they're not putting their sins into the chickens. Like, that's not real. So essentially all those chickens are getting sacrificed for what the fuck? You still don't think anything's going on here? Starting to get more over there again. What do you think that is? But when he saw that even the logical, rational, and cultural commandments of the Torah were being practiced by the Jews in a way higher than logic, he then opposed Judaism in its entirety. Higher than logic? What does that mean? Kind of sounds like that they were just doing it anyway, right? In the narrative of First Maccabees, after Antiochus issued his decree forbidding Jewish religious practice, a rural Jewish priest from Modin, Matthias the Hasmonean, sparked the revolt against the Seleucid Empire by refusing to worship the Greek gods. This isn't... Okay, here we go. The revolt involved many battles in which the Maccabean forces gained notoriety among the Seleucid Empire for their use of guerrilla tactics. After the victory, the Maccabees entered Jerusalem in triumph and ritually cleansed the temple. Ritually cleansed the temple. Like, the wording here is just crazy. They killed everybody. They killed everybody and destroyed all the shit that wasn't theirs. Reestablishing traditional Jewish worship there and instilling Johannes Maccabee as high priest. When is this, like, okay, so maybe I got to go to Johannes Maccabees to get the actual story, because they sure are leaving a lot of this shit out. Almost like somebody discovered it and was telling people, so now they've made it a lot more difficult.